Hi all, Ms. Z here, and today we're going to do a quick lesson on translations. So let's go ahead and start with our standard and our essential statement. Our standard is in geometry G-CO-5. Given a geometric figure and a transformation, draw the transformed figure. And our essential statement is I can translate an image on a coordinate plane. So we will go ahead and start with a couple of definitions. So if you are taking notes, feel free to pause if you need to. Sorry, that's Michelle in the background. She just wants to join in. But we will go ahead and do some vocabulary. So our first one is, first of all, what is a transformation? So they're functions that describe a change in position, size, or shape of a figure. So you start with a figure and then you have to do some stuff to it and you get a new figure. All right. So your original figure is your pre-image, and then the figure that you get after your transformation is called your image. So today we will go ahead and start with the first transformation, which is called a translation. So what is a translation? A translation is when you move the pre-image along a straight line. So all we're doing today for our translation is we're taking our pre-image and we're moving it, depending on what our rule tells us to do, to get our image. Okay, so instead of a bunch of talking, again, pause the video, write down the vocabulary in your notes because we all have our notebooks. We're going to do an example. So here is our example. I'm going to go ahead and open that. Okay. So we have our coordinate plane. We have triangle ABC. And then we have our rule, or what the problem asks us to do. So in this case, our example states, translate triangle ABC 4 units right and 2 units down. So first of all, let me go ahead and help you out with what points A, B, and C are. So point A is -1, 1. Point B is -1, 4. And point C is -3, 2. Double check me. Okay, so those are our points for triangle ABC. And then you take your translation, which in this case it says 4 units right and 2 units down, and you start with your first point A, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't put anything down there, you still have 2 units down, 1, 2, and you're going to make your new, you're going to make your new A prime. It's literally that simple, you guys. And then you start with point B. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. There's my new, let me just double check that I did that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yep, there it is. B prime. And then C prime, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2. Okay, and that is C prime. Don't forget to label. Label, label, label. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect my points. If you notice, your figure should look exactly like your first one. Mine is a little slightly off. That's just because I drew out my coordinate plane. And remember what I tell you guys about that. If you're not super, super precise, it's going to look a tiny bit different. Like right here, I didn't make it super precise. So when I drew this, it came out a little bit wonky, but that's okay. Ideally, a translation, your shape stays the same size and the same shape. The only thing that changes is your pre-image now moves to your new image. It just moves. That's all we do. And then let's go ahead and write out what our new points are. So A prime, we've got, let's see, starting at the origin, 1, 2, 3, and down 1. So positive 3, negative 1. B prime is positive 3, positive 2. And C prime is, what's C prime? Okay, you move left and right. So you go right 1. So that's positive 1, but then you don't go up or down, so you stay at 0. Remember, don't be afraid to double check my work. I know you can't call out and say, hey, Mizzou, you made a mistake right there, or should have been this, or should have been that. But you can still comment and let me know if I made a mistake, even though it's super embarrassing. I'm okay with making mistakes, okay? Mistakes help us learn. So here we have our original triangle ABC, and we have our translated triangle ABC prime, and that is how you perform a translation. Now, let's say we have something like, well, what if it just tells me to translate this triangle ABC 2 units up? Well, there's only one step then. It gets even easier. All you have to do is you have to move this triangle 2 units up. And if you have any other questions in regards to translations, feel free to comment or send me a message on Google Classroom.